What's up, brothers? Sunday. Suns are out of the playoffs. On two, break. Welcome, Jamsters, to another edition of the Suns Jam Session podcast. No Lissy on this one. Got a migraine. I think I still have a migraine after it now being one full week without the Phoenix Suns and watching other teams battle it out in Game 7s and Anthony Edwards winning Game 1 against the Denver Nuggets, which kind of makes you feel okay, I guess. But here we are on the other side of hard, on the other side of a 2023-2024 season. So I thought it'd be a good idea to get some other people out from the Suns community, some of our podcasting brethren, to come together and have a super duper mega pod. So we appreciate everybody who's taken their time out of their day to join us here on the Suns Jam Session podcast. Remember, subscribe, rate, review, all that fun stuff, or don't. I don't care. Season's over. Drop it. Season might be over. That doesn't mean that we're done talking about the Phoenix Suns. We are here on the Super Duper Mega Pod on the Suns Jam Session podcast. And of course, we are joined by some friends. The first friend that we're going to bring up, you know him from the Fanning the Flames podcast when they recorded last December. It's So Says Jay. Justin, come on down.
What's up? What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, actually.
How was your work day on a Sunday?
It was 8 hours long, and I'm happy to be here talking about something that's actually less painful than what I had to deal with for most of my day today.
Well,
but, I mean, it's work in general.
That's work. That's life. That's the
I love how chipper you are. It's fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, I think I have allergies, and I've been really every time I stand up, I'm really lightheaded, and I'm kind of out of it. I've been out of it all weekend, but lights, camera, action, man. I gotta put on the show. So I'm gonna bring in somebody who knows everything about bringing on a show because he likes to chase down Devin Booker any chance he can. That's right, your favorite Aussie. Give it up for Gavin the Stalker.
Hey, how we doing, gents? And let's remember, tell the story correctly. It was Book that chased me down.
Nope. False.
Nope, that's not what happened. And also, no, you did not invite other people to come. Yeah,
no,
you live in this distorted reality. So did the Suns win the championship in this distorted reality you live in, bro?
No, we still got swept in the first round.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah. What a terrible reality.
Back to life. Back. What's up? What's up, Boyd? Give it up to Boyd, who is literally got a picture of him behind him hitting on some dudes. That's adorable. How you doing, guy? What's up, Gun Show?
I hooked up with that guy there.
Yeah. Did you have to chase him down, or did he chase you down?
No, mate. Yeah, he was all over me all night. It was a good night too. Just quietly finished superbly.
Any night with Gavin is a good night.
Always. It's got soft lips, very soft lips.
He does. It's a little scraggly around with the beard and such, but definitely some soft lips.
I just want to roll back. Let's
roll back.
The Devin Booker story is great, but have we ever told the story about how we originally missed Book being there because I was taking a photo of you two?
Share the story. That sounds like a super duper mega awesome story.
So on the night, I actually almost cost everybody the opportunity to meet Devin Booker as he came over to speak to our friend Mr. John Bloom. I was busy trying to take photos for the memories when I came back to Australia of Mr. Voida and Justin. They were there smiling away. We were taking the happy snaps, and we quickly look over to our right, and there's Mr. Booker saying goodbye and taking off, and we nearly missed him completely.
Yes, you did.
I copped that for the next 15 minutes from these two about how I was wasting their time taking photos of them when they could have been speaking to Devin Booker.
I was having a really in-depth conversation with Dervish of Whirl from the Fanning Flames podcast about home mortgages. And then all of a sudden you're like, dude, take a selfie. I'm like, this is going to be the lamest selfie ever because I'm talking about home mortgages. And then there goes Devin Booker. But thankfully you fanboyed and you ran after him. And I don't know. I don't know if he's there, but making his podcasting debut Okay. You might know him from Instagram if you're big on the Suns Instagram world. Suns Worldwide is joining us. What's up? Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Look at
Made an
that.
entrance.
Now that's an entrance right there. Come on, guys.
That is an
I
entrance.
expect better from all of you.
Come on.
I haven't
Production.
got any of those things. They didn't make it back from the US in my hand luggage. Just
Production right
exploded.
there.
So how's it going, Suns Worldwide? Welcome to the podcasting world. You're officially 18 years old. Happy birthday. I know you just turned 18. So tell me about
Yes,
that
sir.
experience, because it was quite some time since any of us turned 18.
I'm just chilling on a podcast with a bunch of old heads.
Yes.
I don't know. We're here. Let's do it. I don't know.
Fun fact, don't know if so this could be something. So let me just give everybody a premise. If you're watching or listening, or maybe you guys who are on this, you might not know what's going to go on. There's a little thing that we like to call the phone ringing. It's called the wheel world. Okay, and it's a big wheel that we spin. It's got a bunch of random questions that we like to ask, and this is one that's not on the wheel of questions. But I'll ask all you guys this question, and I'll see if anybody can remember theirs. When you turned 18, because now we're all 18, when you turned 18, who was on the cover of Playboy? Because that's when you could finally buy a Playboy.
No fucking idea, bro. They got OnlyFans now.
Wow.
You do.
I mean, like,
Why would you ask this question? Why? Just no.
Because it's a super duper megapod.
Look, tell the dude happy birthday and move on.
I'm asking you, Justin, who was on the cover of Playboy when you turned 18?
I legit have no idea. I'm not.
I turned
won't
18 and I
guess.
went and bought a Playboy and a pack of cigarettes just because I could. And do you know who was on the cover of Playboy for me? China.
I get it.
I guess I probably remember that. I do remember
Exactly.
that I did buy a pack of cigarettes though when I turned 18, just because I could.
It's kind of a rite of passage. So
Yeah.
without further ado, we are going to start the wheel world, where I've got a bunch of random questions. We're going to go around. I'm going to pick a person. You're going to answer a question. We'll go from there. But of course, we got to start off with the drop.
This is the true story.
True story
Of people answering some questions.
that are spun on some random wheel thingy.
Random wheel thingy.
To find out what happens when questions aren't naturally asked.
but come from a wheel.
This is the Suns Jam Session Wheel World.
I got to admit, that is one of my favorite drops of all time. I think everybody outside of Suns Worldwide on this one did contribute to that. Joining us a little bit late here is Jake from the Suns Planet podcast. Welcome aboard, Jake. Just in time to answer the question that I just asked is, who was on the cover of Playboy when you turned 18?
Oh my God. Actually, you know what's funny? My dad had a subscription when I was a kid, and it was very like I basically thought every dad did. So that was a weird thing. Actually, I actually remember like my mom would go and get the mail and be like, "Oh, your Playboy showed up," and so I was like, "Oh my God, this is how functioning adults handle things when they're married together. They just like, hey, here's your magazine." But we were not supposed to be looking through it. But there were some great articles. I remember growing up for sure.
Yeah,
Great
it was.
interviews.
Everybody bought it for the articles, right?
The interviews, man. I mean, that's what it was
Yeah.
about. I wanted to know what Hugh Grant had to say about the parties back in '97. So, anyways, going back to that drop. The late great Dave King is on that drop, as well as Saul and Espo and you guys. And I don't know, that was really fun making that a year ago. So, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull up the wheel, okay? And seeing as Justin is the first person directly below me, we're gonna give this bad boy a spin, and we're gonna see
Lovely.
what question that Justin is gonna have to answer. And it's going okay. Oh, this is a good introductory question. How are you enjoying your time off from skiball?
Oh, bro, that is like the perfect question.
It's
for
the
me.
perfect start.
Yeah. It's been lovely. Look, I was at the elimination game. I sat there and I took it all in afterwards. You know what? Minnesota fans, kudos to them. They were there in droves and they stuck around. They were hanging after the game, but I was able to take a lot of it in and accept a lot of it right then and there. And then I finally watched basketball yesterday. So that was a step further in the right direction. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you. Thank you, Sons Worldwide. I knew I liked you for a reason. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And look, at the end of the day, we've got an off season ahead of us. Something's going to happen. The team's going to be back next year, and we're going to be right back in the same position watching them again. Why lose sleep? Why dwell over it right now? We'll let whatever's going to happen and just enjoy watching the rest of the playoffs to the extent you can. I mean, now I say that now, I might watch another game and be like, okay, I'm done for the rest of the playoffs, and then I'll still be the same chipper self that I am, but just without basketball. But I'm enjoying it quite nicely. Thank you for asking.
But of course, it was all the wheel. Is there anybody who's done anything crazy in the last week outside of Sons Worldwide who had a birthday? Like, is there anybody who is like for example, I'm just catching up on movies and such. Like I watched Dune 2 today because I finally wanted to watch that, and I rented it for like $24 on Amazon, and it wasn't worth a fucking dollar.
It's a
I didn't
very
think it was
expensive rental.
It was, but I've been asked my wife to go for quite some time to go see it in the theater, and she doesn't want to because it's like 3 hours and she doesn't care. And she's like, you know what? This is the same as going to the theater. So I finally watched it, and I didn't understand why all the hype was there. Is there anything anybody else is doing to pass the time now that it's a week afterwards that is of note? Or should I just go and ask the next question?
Well, I worked 8 hours today. Does that count too?
That unfortunately does count.
I started spending some time with my kids. It was great, and also,
Boyd's a dad.
2K24 for the first time this season,
just in time.
You would catch the smoke, buddy.
It's on Game Pass. It's like an annual subscription where you get random games. I don't know if you have it over there, but it's on Game Pass. It's fucking free, and so I just jumped on there, and I can't bring myself to play with the Suns' current squad. I'm still pissy a little bit. So what I did is I started in the 2000s era when we got all the old, and I'm just having the time of my life. And I'm really good in the drafts. All the drafts are fucking like really easy to pick. It's really good.
What year are you on now?
I am up to. I've just drafted Kevin Garnett. So what am I? Around about 2006? No, 97, 98.
It's fun to play that.
That was a 10-year difference.
Yeah, that was like.
I was thinking.
He's not very good at this game.
He's not very good at anything in
time
general.
Operates differently down there, don't we? Haven't we realized that already?
We can give you guys what's coming up tomorrow.
This is very true. Well, let's go ahead and spin the wheel because we got plenty more questions to ask. And this one's going to be for Gavin from the Aussie Suns Fan Podcast. Give it a little spin ski, see what we come up with here for you. Ooh, okay. Let's see what this one says. It says, who is the big surprise of the 2023-2024 Suns?
I know that everybody would probably have a similar answer of Grayson Allen in this one, but for me, it was probably actually Nurk, given the fact that he stayed healthy and played a majority of the season. Grayson Allen, he performed pretty well with the Bucks, had a high 3-point percentage, and did shoot the ball well there during the regular season as well. So we probably got a similar sort of output, even though a lot of people weren't expecting or knew that was coming. My biggest concern was Nurk coming over and staying healthy, obviously, given the center issues that might have arisen if he wasn't out on the floor, and given the fact that he played in excess of 70 games. I thought that was a surprise. And he was probably, I know that a lot of people had the frustration with the missed layups and stuff like that, but we had a previous center that did a lot of that sort of stuff too. And at least this one was physical in his nature, physical in the way he played the game, and probably didn't have the best playoff series, but I thought over the course of the season he was a nice piece within what we did, and potentially we looked probably a lot better when he was on the floor than when he wasn't. So I'm going to go with Nurk, just to be a little bit different to everybody else.
Are there any objections or any other thoughts or ideas from anybody in the crowd?
You don't want Tanabe?
Okay, break it down. So should we call you like S-Dub-Dub or S-Dubs or you want to go by your name? Like, how do we address you?
We'll just
System,
go. We'll just go worldwide.
All right, worldwide. So tell us, Yuta Watanabe, biggest surprise for the 2023 Suns. Break it down.
I mean, we thought he was going to be good, and he was actually the complete opposite. He was complete dog shit. So now he's in Japan.
I think that's actually a really good point, right?
That's it. That's the take.
I mean, it's a solid take though. Like, raise your hand if you thought that Yuta Watanabe was going to be a needle changer on this team. For those of you who are listening, there's a lot of hands up right now. And for those
and two liars.
And yeah, only one liar.
I said on Mr. Voider's preseason pod that I wasn't that excited about Yuta being on the team.
Yeah, you thought Chimezie Metu was going to be a starting 5 guy. So
I thought Chimezie Metu was going to be better.
Yeah, so that is a good point. You know, I think a lot of us were looking at a lot of the ancillary pieces that were brought into this team, and we might have been surprised when come trade deadline, they were all assets that were traded, and we were all okay across the board. No one was like, oh, no, not Yuta Watanabe being gone, not Keita Bates-Diop. Say it ain't so, Frankie. No, it was 100% valid because this team and their ancillary pieces didn't perform in the manner that any of us thought that they were going to, especially if you look at the way that Boyd plays 2K. Like, they're probably amazing on 2K, but in real life, that it's not as easy as just pressing the circle button, is it?
And the thing for those guys too was that they had their chances with the injuries early in the season as well. They had the opportunity to show how they could fit in the team, and they just didn't.
They just didn't.
Hey, can we say though too with Grayson, like not just their performance, but how about his demeanor? We saw none of the Grayson that people thought we might still be getting. And I think we all can agree that Grayson Allen truly was just very misunderstood.
He's a changed man.
Yes.
And maybe it's just something in the Milwaukee. It's a Bucks thing.
It's a Bucks thing, yeah. Well, Giannis does run around trying to take out everyone. So
that's what I'm saying, dude.
He is. He's a low-key, very dirty player that nobody talks about. Giannis
is. We've got a certain somebody assaulting fans twice, and the NBA just being cool with it. Apparently,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's all good to do that. Yeah.
I had no idea. Patrick Beverly will be a Sun next year. All right, let's go right down the line. Now I'm going to pop down to Boyd because Boyd was the next one who showed up. So
Patrick Beverly is misunderstood. I can go with it.
Make it happen, Justin. Make it happen. All right, we're giving that wheel a little spin, and he's got the big question here. So you're going to have some good thoughts here. Will Frank Vogel coach this team next year?
No.
That is the question.
No chance.
Probably yes, but I don't want him to. But yes. I think. Well, look, my mind changed after listening to Matt Ishbia and James Jones talk at their conference or whatever it was. But yeah, I initially thought he was gone myself, and then I heard all that sort of talk, and okay, we're keeping him. Okay, but yeah, look, I just I don't think he should be there, but I think he will now, and yeah, just because I'm believing the shit that's been fed to me, like I have all season. So
your whole life,
my whole life.
He's a gullible human.
Yeah, I am. That's me. Yeah.
Is there anybody who disagrees? Is there anybody who thinks Frank Vogel will not be coaching for the Phoenix Suns next year? I see Gavin waving and throwing up gang signs simultaneously. This is a gang-free environment. So, but explain your thoughts on that, Gav.
He'll be fired by the end of the week.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, ironic
timestamps on shit now.
Anybody else just see that alert?
No.
No.
Flex says news on Frank Vogel tomorrow or Tuesday.
Okay.
He's fired by the end of the week.
Somebody check it.
That would be before the end of the week.
Did he really?
There has been a movement.
Well,
Patrick Ewing is the talk of Suns Twitter lately.
Can you kick him? Can you kick him off the?
Kick him out?
I'm just
Get him
saying.
off the pod.
NBA Hall of Famer, lots of years of coaching experience. Let's make it happen, Suns fans.
That news presser about Frank Vogel, the news coming for Frank Vogel, it's either You'd think it's either got to be an extension or a fucking firing, right?
I don't think it's going to be an
It
extension.
won't be an
It
extension.
couldn't be an extension.
Got a
right?
5-year contract on.
That would be
I-
crazy, though. What if it was? What if it
Oh my
Congratulations
God.
on your
Extending
first year. You
another
were
3
swept
years.
in the first round. We're going to reward you with some extra years.
You won 0 games in the playoffs. Here's an extension.
Here's 3 years.
I will say that I've had a piece on Brightside ready to go for like a week and a half announcing Frank Vogel's firing. So once it happens, I'll just embed the tweet and send it. And I'm kind of looking forward to him getting fired just because it's like I put a lot of work into that thing. It's like 700 words. It's like one thing that you do, and a couple of you guys have written for the site in the past, and you know how it is sometimes you have some pre-written articles on certain potential things occurring. And when they don't happen, it makes you sad. So let's fire Frank. Fire Frank. Fire Frank. Fire Frank. Okay, hire Patrick. Hire Patrick.
No, let's not do that.
All right, so Worldwide, you are up next on the infamous Wheel World. Let's give it a spin.
Let's get it.
See what you get. Pop in your podcast cherry here. All right, and we got... Who is your favorite non-Suns NBA player? Playa?
I don't fuck with anybody that doesn't rep Phoenix, honestly.
Good for
So
you.
there's no-
Good,
there's
and that is the perfect answer.
I don't.
Oh.
I don't. It used to be Kevin Durant, but he's here, so I don't got any.
0, zip 0, stingy with De Niro. Is there anybody else who has a player who is a non-Phoenix Sun who you admire watching? Your favorite non-Sun?
That sounds.
Well, it's got to be an ex-Sun, right?
This is a
Littering
test.
and speed.
Mikal Bridges, there. I said it. I said what everyone was thinking. Boom. You're welcome.
PJ Tucker.
I
PJ
didn't
Tucker.
forget
Tucker.
about those two.
Perfect.
Still.
Okay,
Anthony
I'll be
Edwards.
that guy.
Anthony
I used to
Edwards.
like watching Giannis play.
DeAndre Ayton. It's fantastic.
Hold on,
You guys seen him up there? And
Hold on.
I
We'll
see
get to
Trevor.
that DeAndre comment, but I want to go to this one down
Actually, yeah.
here.
No, yeah.
All right.
Pizza?
Jake from Suns Planet said Giannis. Tell me why.
Right. So, I mean, as we've kind of moved on, the NBA has kind of evolved. It's rare to see a big man. Well, and he's really, I mean, we're seeing stuff like that, but Giannis is still a very physical player. And so, I don't know. I've always had an affinity for the guys that can go down into a post and actually back somebody down and do some damage. It's something that we always wished DeAndre Ayton was going to do and just decided to do turnaround and fade minis and mid-range jumpers. And so, I mean, to watch somebody to be able to kind of, I don't know, go back a little old school. Giannis has that ability, so I do kind of admire watching
All right.
that.
So hold on real quick. Got to write this down. Jake likes guys who can go down. What was that?
Go down hard. They really got to push it around in the paint. You know?
Wrote that in my All-Star 2027 book here with my All-Star 2027 pen.
Is there anything else written in that? I want to know. You can't see.
Nothing.
Just
That's
one
my
man.
first
Yeah.
note.
Just that Jake likes someone.
Can't
to
wait
go
to show
down.
up for the All-Star game. Hey, we've read the notes on you.
Coach Evan B's in the chat. He says Jalen Brunson. We got SGA from 8.0. Coda Kid says DeAndre Ayton, which is about par for
Actually,
the course.
the most
True.
recent one. The most recent one is one that is becoming more interesting to watch. This dude here, Paolo Banchero, is very good to watch.
I love Paolo Banchero.
He's a
I
stud.
love him. Yeah, he's fun to watch. They lost today in the Game 7, but not necessarily due to his issue. I had a buddy text me. I don't know. So did you guys watch the Game 7 today between the Cavaliers and the Magic?
It was on at like
It was
10
on at
a.m.
like 4
I was
a.m.
watching
here.
that, bro.
Yeah.
What was that, Worldwide?
Who's watching that shit at 10 a.m.?
I am. I'm 41 years old, man. I fucking watch basketball. You're out doing shit, man. Like, I'm not doing shit. I'm
I was
like, okay, I
working.
got to fit this in between my oil change. Oh, yeah, I don't work on the weekends.
Hey,
Uh,
aren't you 42?
No, not yet. Not till October.
Oh, I thought I was younger than you.
No, you're older by a few months. But yeah, you're a half year older than me.
Shut up,
When-
Gavin. You're older than both of us.
You'll be 42 and a half when I turn 42. But I will say there was a very important tradition that occurred today that one of my friends reminded me of. Did anybody? Well, I guess nobody saw the game, but Franz Wagner was horrible in the game. Horrible.
Yeah.
He had like 5 points, 6 points. Does
Well,
anyone
him
know?
and Suggs were like 4 for 35 or something.
Yeah,
like
they were
that combined.
absolutely garbage. But does anybody know what kind of shoes Franz Wagner was wearing? He's wearing book ones. So game 7 Booker, still alive, baby, still alive. All right, well, here we go. We're going to go ahead and spin the wheel.
Not
and
impressed.
I can't get over the fact that Jake admitted that he likes Giannis. Like I'm like nauseous.
I'm still thinking about that as well.
hacker.
That's kind
It's
of crazy.
disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Especially that's nuts.
MAGA
bro.
nuts.
First
Can't believe it.
Patrick Ewing, now Giannis.
Right. Good lord.
Well,
Have you
let's
seen his
Sorry,
commercials?
Shiloh. I'm
Teak
freaking
and
the dog
Teak?
out now. You happy? Are you happy, Jake? Move on.
I'm going to give Jake a question now.
Oh God.
With the Giannis and the Patrick Ewing, he's definitely earned a question. Let's hope he gets one of the bad ones that I threw in here. Oh, sweet. This is always a fun
God.
one. What is your favorite Johnny Cash song? And real quick, just before I get into that, I do want to tell Sons Worldwide that Johnny Cash was a country western singer.
Bro, I know who that is, bro.
Okay, I just double checking. I don't know, man. Like you didn't know that the NBA, like you don't watch the NBA at 10 a.m. on Sundays. I don't know where you're at, man. I'm trying to feel you out. All right, now I know. You know Johnny Cash. Awesome. Jake, Johnny Cash song.
So I used to drive to high school blasting Ring of Fire out the car door windows when that was still the cool thing to do is like put a sound system in.
Yeah, the CD, the Pioneer with the Rockford Fosgates.
Yeah, burn a CD, put that on there because I thought it was funny and ironic and an older song, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, what is that?" But I'd just be blasting it down the street. But if I'm gonna go with my favorite, then Folsom Prison Blues would be close. But I'm gonna go with a song that was not originally one of his, but "Hurt." Powerful song. How he did that was so well done. So yeah. I'll go with
Walk
that.
the Line's a good one too.
Walk the Line for sure. Remember when people used to put Rockford Fosgates in their car and then put Rockford Fosgate stickers on their windshields? It's pretty much just telling people like steal shit out of the back of my trunk that I worked very hard for. Does anybody else have a different favorite Johnny Cash song?
Jackson. Just because. Look,
him and June Carter.
Yes. Folsom Prison Blues is wicked. Walk the Line, Get Rhythm, all great. But Jackson special to me because I was pumping that when I had toddlers in the background years ago, and by the end of this trip, it was like a 2-hour trip we were doing. They were all getting in on the Jackson chorus. So yeah, that's a special one to me. Jackson.
Haven't you still got toddlers in the background?
I do, mate. I kept on having the fucking things. They're fucking everywhere.
Any other Cash songs? Does
Boy Named Sue is a good one.
That's Boy Named Sue. Michael Evans in the chat says that Boy Named Sue is fantastic. Do you guys know One Piece at a Time? You ever heard that one? It's a great song. It's about him working at like a Chevy dealership or a Chevy factory and stealing pieces of a car one piece at a time. It's like, I got it one piece at a time and it didn't cost me a dime. And at the end, he's like, I got a 64, 65, 65, 70 automobile. My favorite one's the one called, you ever heard It Ain't Me, Babe? Check out that one. Go away from my window. Leave at my own chosen speed. I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one that you need. Yeah. Word. Okay, I'm gonna ask my. I'm just gonna sing the whole song and have you guys watch me. Word. All right. Well, I'm gonna ask myself a question. I get to answer the wheel world as well. So let's see what this pops up for me. Let's see.
No,
I just love the start.
Should we waste our time researching draft candidates this season? No, because I think it's very clear that Suns Brass is trading the 22nd pick. They talked about the 2031 pick ad nauseum at the last press conference because on draft day that becomes an eligible trade chip, as does their 2020 for first-round pick, which is the 22nd pick. And Matt Ishbia was very transparent when he said, hey, we see draft picks as a means to get great players, not draft great players, get great players. So I know that over the next month and a half, because that's how long we have until the NBA draft, we're going to be taking a look at draft boards and seeing who could fall to us at the 22nd pick, and does that meet a need, and is this and it's not going to matter because we're going to trade it on draft night. Does anybody think otherwise?
No, I think it's evident.
I think it gets traded, John, but I think there's always value in having a look at this shit, because in a couple of years' time,
when we don't have a draft pick,
these. Well, in a couple of years' time, there's going to be one of these guys who are going to be rumored to be a throw-in in a deal that hasn't quite panned out somewhere else, and we're gonna. And it's always good to know who had that potential. And look, I'm a victim of the draft after 10 years of fucking staring at the thing all year. So I kind of like to know what's going on and who might slip and who in the future we may be able to get our hands on. And maybe fix.
Yeah, I think Tumani Kamara was a quality guy that we picked up
and we traded.
Hurts my soul every day.
Immediately traded off, but
Doesn't
yeah,
it?
I don't know. I see. I think you're right, John. I think it's a tradable asset that they might be looking to do it. But being that we're also stuck with minimum contract is all we can offer. To build contracts, you would at this point the only thing you can do is draft somebody and then get their contract for a longer term. So I mean, because there's nobody that's going to be coming in on a 3-year minimum contract or anything like that. So I mean, I could see them just saying, you know what, we've got to put somebody on the bench, and that makes more than the minimum, and let's take a first rounder.
Be nice, but I don't think it's. If there is a first rounder out there and they're looking at the Phoenix Suns, they're saying, it ain't me, babe. No, it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for, babe. All right, Justin, you're up next on the Wheel World. Thanks for playing along.
That was awesome.
I know. I nailed it. All right, here we go. For Justin, which team has the best logo in the NBA?
The Suns.
Okay, outside of the Suns, which team has the best logo in the NBA? Such a homer podcast, dude. Like, who cares? The Suns do not have the best logo in the NBA. It's a nice logo. I like it, but it's not the best.
Who has the best logo in the NBA?
I can't even think of the logos.
I don't even know, man. I'd have to look.
Like, I'm trying to think of one that I'm like, oh yeah, but like
90s Raptors.
I actually didn't like the 90s Raptors. It's 290s. Hey.0 says the Hawks. Coach Evan B says Kevin Garnett T-Wolves era was elite.
Yeah.
I like the old Vancouver Grizzlies logo too, since we're talking the old Raptors style too.
That Detroit Pistons, that old one with the
great
horse.
I like the Suns.
muffler.
I legit like the Suns. I can't think of one that I like better than the Suns.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. I don't even know. They
I think
all
the Heat.
suck.
I think
you like the Heat?
I think the Heat's a good looking logo. I wish ours was the Heat.
I think they all suck equally.
It's kind of similar, right? I mean, we've got the sunburst. They've got a ball on fire, right?
Yeah. Going through a hoop.
The Raptors, I'd say, I mean, it's cool. It has like the claw marks.
Yeah, it's like simple, right? It's just simple, but like, and like, I like simplistic stuff. Seattle Supersonics, Juan Carlos says, I like that.
Yeah.
That looked good. 90s Hornets from Landon. Vancouver
What about
Grizzlies.
the worst logo?
Yeah, what's the worst logo? There we go. Maybe that was another question on the Wheel World, but it's not.
Oh, sorry. I'll pull it back.
Jazz.
The Jazz is pretty damn ugly. And they took their colors and they made it just black and highlighter yellow.
Yeah.
That's their only two colors now.
Pretty terrible.
I think the Pelicans are pretty bad. That's
I
pretty
like
bad
the
logo.
Pelicans.
Really?
I think the colors are ass, but I think it's kind of ingenious.
Yeah.
I
Like
don't
the way
like
that
the Nets. The Nets is boring.
The Hawks.
Nets.
The Hawks are actually pretty garbage.
Garbage. The Nets is just a B over a basketball, kind of lame, and not even like a cool B. Just like
No, just a boring day.
might as well be Comic Sans. Okay, Oklahoma City Thunder. That is legit probably the worst, in my opinion.
Clippers' new logo is going to be terrible.
I don't know. I kind of like it. It looks like an SB Nation logo, and I like SB Nation. Shout out Brightside.
Timberwolves.
Yeah, like literally none of these logos move the needle for me.
Nah, Washington's is shit.
They're just going to rebrand, honestly.
Yeah.
We know that Jake's
bunch of
favorite is
names.
the Bucks.
Yeah,
He loves the Bucks one.
yeah.
Here's the
Jake
deal.
loves the Bucks.
No,
He loves
I'd probably say the Orlando Magic. They kind
He
of
loves
have a cool logo.
he's a big fan of the Cream City alternate jerseys
Yes,
too.
big Cream City guy. That Jake from Sun's Planet. That's
You know,
for sure.
when there's a big dude and he's pounding you, right?
Go on.
In that
Hold on.
Green City jersey.
He's got that cream
I'm
on
just
his
saying.
chest.
I feel right at home. I don't know where I'm. Yeah.
I gotta get
home.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Gotta
Noted.
give
Noted.
got to give props to the Bulls though. Their logo hasn't changed very much over
Never
time,
changed.
and it's
It's
iconic.
never changed. The Bulls logo is the original logo from like 1968, I believe.
It's just iconic and strong.
I love
strong
logos.
logo.
So
I love that I got two like just stupid ass questions. They're
You know who else
fantastic.
has a
Would you like me-
one?
What am I
would
here
you like
for?
me to give you another spin?
Oh God, no. Jake's next. Right? I don't know.
No, Gav's
next.
next.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
next.
I abide by rules though, notwithstanding the results.
The Cavs
Okay, well,
one
let's-
sucks too.
Which one?
The Cavaliers.
Oh yeah.
Cavaliers is
That's just Cleveland in general.
all right. Here we go for Gavin. He got the Vogel. Did you get the Vogel question earlier?
No,
No,
Boyd got
you
the
did
vote.
it. Boyd. Well, we'll ask you this question, Gavin. Is running it back the right move?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's the right move, but it might be the only move.
That's a good one.
That's a great.
So I think as Suns fans, we have to pretty much accept that there might be some fringe type movement that we see, but with the big three, I don't think we're going to see any changes there. And I look, Nurk's a potential trade piece, but still, I don't know whether there's a market out there, and that's probably going to sit strong as well. We're not going to trade Grayson Allen, and we can add value to the roster or the potential value to the roster by re-signing Royce O'Neal. So I get the feeling that we might, rather than going for wholesale changes, we might back in the whole Minnesota Timberwolves thing and go, right, well, that was our first year together. This year we're going to be much better. So let's give that a go. And I think that's what we're going to see.
Anybody else any thoughts on that?
Oh, he's right. I think you
He
got to
is.
run it back. Anyone outside of Durant, Booker, Beal, Nurk, Allen, and Royce, I think, is gone. Drew Eubanks can go to any country besides here. I don't really care. I would like to bring a Kogi back. I wish we would have utilized him more in the first round, like especially against Ant. But yeah, outside of those 6 or 7 guys, I don't really think anybody else is safe.
I was thinking about it today as I was watching basketball at 10 a.m. and Wendell Carter. Like, I like Wendell. Sorry, worldwide. This is what you get with Void, okay? It's just I'm a smartass. But I do like Wendell Carter. And I was looking at his contract, and I was like, God, is there any world where we could trade them? Like, the Magic lose in the first round. We can trade Nurkic and get Wendell Carter out of the deal somehow. And I think that you're right, Gavin, when you say that there's just not a market for Nurk, unfortunately. Like, he's definitely solid. Boyd, tell the kids to shut up. He's
You
definitely.
hear that?
Oh God, yes, yeah. Like, stop
God,
neglecting your children. But like, he's definitely a solid center. He proved that this season. He gives you exactly what he should for the contract that he's under. But there's no other team that's going to line up and be like, you know what, we're missing? We're missing some Nurk. So I wouldn't say quote unquote we're stuck with Nurk because I think that he does meet our needs. But it's unfortunate because I wish there was some market where that would at least give us some options, because I'm at this point right now where we talk about that running it back. It might not be the right thing, but it's the only thing. I put out something today on Twitter. Let's see if I can actually pull this up. But I was out there on the Twitter sphere, and I was a little bored today because the season's over for the Phoenix Suns, which means that I have a little extra time in my hands to play with Photoshop and things. Did you say Hans?
Well, that's how you started saying it. I caught that.
Well, I photoshopped James Harden in a Suns jersey, and everybody's like, "No, God, no!" And it's just like none of this is going to happen. I'm just doing it for fun at this point because I'm learning how to put jerseys on other players. But
do Russ for me next.
Okay, I'll make that happen. I can absolutely make that happen for you.
Also, worldwide, Jo has a player option, so
there's a chance he comes back.
He'll be back.
Can I just say if that news coming up on Vogel in a couple of days isn't him getting fired and he's staying on, I'd like for us to fuck Durant off and get something fresh in. Yes. And look,
you want to fuck him off?
I want to fuck him off. I want to get him out of it. Get as much as we can while we still can get a packet for him. And give.
I don't think we're getting a packet from anywhere for Kevin Durant.
Fuck off. Of course we are. We are, definitely. He's still got tremendous value. Still. So,
I mean, I'm sorry. I was just going to... If the athletic stuff is true, like, there's no way Vogel can be the coach. And something like that doesn't happen. So if Vogel ends up... If it gets announced that Vogel's a coach still, then I think we should expect something significant to happen this offseason, maybe.
I think it really needs to, because I don't think the level of non-buy-in, if that can be said, non-buy-in that Vogel got this season, I don't think it's fixable. And I have a dreadful feeling that if it's the same iteration, it's the same three guys there, cool as fuck all season. Next season, I think it'll be it's another recipe for disaster. And I think he needs some fresh blood. Some people that he can, who are more coachable, I suppose, come in and hold some people accountable and help Vogel, I think.
So I got two things here. One, worldwide.
What?
You've changed jerseys like 3 times. That's awesome.
Really?
If you guys are listening to the podcast, you're not seeing what's going on. But worldwide started
Costume
off
changes.
with a Booker jersey, the PHX. Then he went to like the Orange Crush jersey kind of, and now he's wearing like a 2-year-old purple jersey. This is going to be a thing, man. Every time I need more jersey changes. And second, I'm going to bring somebody else onto the podcast to answer the question about whether Kevin Durant could potentially be gone from the He's on Fire podcast, Coach Evan.
Hey.
So you hear us talking about Kevin Durant being a potential trade piece. I mean, boys up there trading away everything. What are your thoughts on that? And welcome to the pod. It's been a while.
Oh, unmuted. There we go. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Impromptu. I love it. Thanks for the invite. So here's what I think is going to happen. We're gonna run it back right now. Kevin Durant is a free agent after 2026, right?
Yeah.
Anything can happen with a 1-year contract remaining that includes this upcoming trade deadline. So anything after that, people will take on 40, 45 million, 50 million just for a 1-year thing. They can make moves beforehand. There's a lot of things that could happen, but I think we run it back right now. And if we suck coming up, trade them at the deadline, right? If we're 500 or below, trade them at the deadline. If we're first round exits again, then you can definitely have that conversation, and surely somebody will want Kevin Durant. So that's just what I think is brewing.
I think that's spot on. Go ahead.
A lot of sense.
Oh, sorry. I just think, I think there's. I've been kind of down on Durant at times, but he's going to be 36. But by the time the season tips off again, you've got Nurkic under 30, Allen under 30, Booker under 30, Beal's only 30. He'll be 31 soon. But by getting rid of Durant and getting what I assume would be quite a quality haul back, because he was still scoring 29 points. Still a top 10 player in this league. He will go down as a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think you kind of reset your window. I mean, that was the big thing we kept talking about with the big threes. We got about a 2 to 3 year window to win this whole thing. If you send out Durant and get quality, like very good players back, which I think is possible, you kind of reset the window again. And I think set it back up.
Nice. I'm playing.
That was my closing play.
There you go. Well, I think it's definitely a conversation that will occur. And again, he's a free agent, not at the end of this season, it's next season. And there's where the value comes in. And even to Boyd's point, if the Suns announce that Frank Vogel is going to remain as the coach by Tuesday, there's probably going to be some talks of selling Kevin Durant, and you can actually sell. Dude, Worldwide changed his jersey again. That's fucking amazing, dude. I wish I had an allowance too, so I could buy jerseys.
I was gonna say, dude, like
my lunch money.
Lunch money.
Yeah, there's a lot of value adding up in these jersey changes over there.
All right, well, let's go ahead and pull out the wheel world again, and it's Boyd's turn to answer a question. Let's give a little spin-ski. Let's see what we're doing. Oh, okay. I have no idea what these questions are. I wrote them like 3 days ago. If you could open a door to take a shit anywhere in the world, where would it be?
That's the perfect question for Boyd.
Yeah.
Wasn't this was on last year's Wheel of
It was
World.
on last year's.
Was it really? It's a question I
Yeah,
do
it
like
was
to
on
ask
last
people quite often. So,
Well, okay. It's
Justin's
going to be
face.
It's going to be anywhere in the world, and I'm pretty sure it's China, where you have them little hose guns that you can spray up your bottom to get the poop off. Because I've never used one, and it really intrigues me.
A
and I've
bidet.
got to make
You
that.
A bidet. Yeah, it's a bidet. They're in other places besides China too.
Oh, there is? I thought it was just a China thing. But hey, I would do that. My mate traveled the world and told me that he loved it. He loved spraying his ass. But I want to try.
Bro, what?
China
is Boyd's
China.
answer because apparently
China.
There it is.
Great country. China.
Apparently, the only place that has bidets.
Yeah, the only place in the world that has
Bidets. Is that really
so-
what it's called? A bidet?
Yes.
And they don't.
Yeah.
They also don't
Big-
have toilets. They've got holes in the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What about in a
big
Japanese
trade-off.
Zen garden?
Is that
There
where
you
you would
go,
go, like a nice
Japanese-
Japanese
Sure.
Zen shite?
Sure.
What about you, Justin? Because you seem off put by this question. I want to know what your thoughts are. If you could open a
Bro,
door.
I was like, do my wife's like in earshot? I came in the bedroom. I'm like, I had none of this talk in front of my lovely bride. Actually, I had to plug my iPad in. I'm perfectly fine just pooping where I normally poop. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you
But
for
think about
asking,
that, okay?
though.
Imagine you're at work and you're like, oh man, I gotta take a shit. I can open a door and you're like, oh boom, I'm at home. This is great. The most comfortable place that you're used to shitting. That's a valid answer. That's 100% a valid answer. For
Well,
me,
thank
it would be a hot air balloon where I could shit off the side.
Where would the hot air balloon
had that
be
same answer
flying
last
over,
time.
though? That's
Doesn't
the
matter.
question.
Doesn't matter.
It matters.
It's always been his
It was-
answer.
It's always been my
It's
answer.
always,
Yeah.
it always will be.
Yes.
It haunts John every single day of his life, and that's why he can't wait for this episode every year.
Yes.
You
it's my
really
favorite.
want you,
Just to live it.
you really want to be reincarnated as a bird, don't you?
Yeah, oh God, everywhere. Just for those listening, in case you did not know, Worldwide did go ahead and change his jersey one more time. I think he left us 5 now, which
What?
gives him an opportunity to answer another question. Shame
go.
on everyone else who kept the same clothes on the whole time. Kind of disappointed in all of you.
Close or no close, we don't judge.
The question for
Entirely-
Worldwide:
That's not entirely true, just for the record.
can the Suns be fixed?
I think that's all up to them entirely. I mean, whatever the hell is going on in that locker room, I have no idea. I've had interesting conversations, but if Frank Vogel's there, hell no.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Oh, did he just say I've had interesting conversations?
Yeah,
and
him-
move on? What does that mean?
Yeah, go on. Expand on the interesting conversations.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not gonna name players.
You don't need
but-
to. Ish Wainwright.
Nope, not him.
Okay.
Not Ish.
You guys know he played football?
He
did.
Baylor University, I believe, right? What
And he had
position
an
did he
NFL
play?
tryout too. I used a tight end.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
Wasn't
you're not
sure.
going to name players, but
But
substance of conversation is fair game. Go ahead.
I'm trying. I don't want to quote this the right way from the message. It was like it's tough right now, but yeah, we're pretty much fucked.
oh, nice. Go
Yeah.
Suns.
That's what the conversation was pretty much consistent.
Breaking news.
Now I kind of hope
yeah.
it was coming from Ish,
No.
not like somebody that actually gets more playing time.
I will say he's been on the team all year. That's
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well,
Drew
that
Eubanks.
doesn't leave.
Yeah, exactly, Drew Eubanks. Yeah. So it's not coming from Royce O'Neal. I feel better.
Drew
about it.
Eubanks and Paul.
Well, Eubanks should be pissy because he got fucking knocked out in the tunnel and no one came to help him. So he's fucking pissed off at everyone. Of course he's going to say it's fucked.
And do you notice how good a basketball he was playing before that? We were talking about him maybe starting at times.
Yeah, I know.
Who
It was
said
around about
that?
that. It was us.
Early in the season, he was playing good basketball.
But
Big Crank Eubanks.
Crank that soul. Now I mean you. Crank that soul. Now I mean you. Crank that soul. Now I mean you. Crank that soul. Now what?
that was the entirety of his highlights, right
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, that was all. That
In
was
the
all
first three
preseason.
games.
Yeah, the preseason games.
But you guys watched that JJ Redick interview with Booker, right? Where Redick brought up, he's like, "Oh yeah," like he talked about talking trash on the court and stuff like that. He's like, "Yeah, it never gets out of hand." And he goes, "Well, it did for one of your teammates." And Booker's like, "Yeah, like you can't even do that anymore. Like it wasn't about like, yeah, I'm pissed off they took a swing at my teammate Eubanks and cracked him."
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
can't do that
yeah,
anymore.
you're not even supposed to do that. Like Drew probably deserved it.
Fucking up them pick and rolls.
Exactly.
All right,
Stretch your
well,
feet.
Jake, we're running low on questions here, so we'll see what you get.
All right.
Did you say thank God? I'm gonna add
No.
7 more. I'll come up with
Do a
stuff.
real question. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Should the Suns pursue LeBron James?
Bro.
There is an alternative universe that seems more likely than it should, where the Suns use that late first round pick to pick up a Bronny James type player and say, you know what, LeBron, you want your son? Minimum contract is what it's going to have to be, and then we have our point guard. So I would say, yeah, you might as well pursue him.
And our power forward.
What does
Exactly.
pursue him mean exactly?
You guys, he goes hard in the paint. You want to talk about another guy that I'd like to see the Cream
That's
City
hard in the
jersey
paint.
and just pound it.
You want to kidnap
Oh.
LeBron James's son and say, look, if you don't sign a minimum here, we're going to bench him and ruin his entire NBA
Yes,
career.
I
We're
understand
gonna
that
bench
that's
him for
basically
4
the
fucking
premise of
years.
Space Jam 2.
Well,
I am
well,
here
well,
for it.
Will we
So,
have our
well,
G League team?
Stars.
So
Will we have
we're
our
pretty
G
much-
League team next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can just bury him in the G League. Unless LeBron signs on a minimum.
Yeah, but LeBron wants to watch his son play.
So what you're saying is we're gonna hold LeBron's son for ransom
Yes.
for a minimum
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 1
That's
year.
smart. That's
1
smart.
year. And then we'll just
1 year.
release him.
Type shit. Let's do it.
All right, Evan, you get a
All right,
question
well,
now that you've joined. So let's see what you get on the wheel world.
Get him the Cheez-Its question.
It's getting close. What are your thoughts on the Ishbia Jones press conference? This is a good question, and I haven't heard your thoughts yet. So, Coach Evan B. from the He's on Fire podcast, fire away.
I obviously thought it was going to be your typical ownership GM end of the year. We're going to hype you up jargon. And I think somebody even tweeted out, it was like 2 hours afterwards, like season ticket emails were going out to a bunch of people too. So it's just your typical stuff. And I don't really want to read into it, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I'm very disappointed, Coach Evan B. I really wanted you to go. I didn't watch that shit.
I was really waiting for that.
Of course I
negative
did.
take.
Shit.
Boyd, help your children or mute yourself. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was a very, energetic because that's who Ishbia is. He's definitely somebody who has a lot of caffeine or whatever before his press conferences. And it was just kind of strange because they were talking so much about how they were they were ready and willing to get rid of that 31 draft pick. And I don't know.
That part was weird, right? Like openly stating that was a little off.
Like
the cuff,
over
I
and
felt.
over, they really hate 7th graders. I feel bad for 7th graders right now because every 7th grader, the Suns are already like, "Fuck you, we don't want you on this
that
team."
guy.
Sixth
Yeah.
graders have a chance.
You know who
but fuck
loves
the
7th
sevens.
graders?
Drake.
Oh no,
Josh Giddey.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Why?
Let's
Let's
not
just-
go anywhere.
Why?
The fact that there's so
Why?
many answers that people start coming up with is the scary part.
Two things though. One, I think both of you guys hit the nail on the head. Like, what do you expect them to say? They're like the company line is exactly what they're going to be feeding you at the end of the season. They're not gonna be like, oh my God, it was terrible. You should have seen this. Like, no. Second, with the talk of the 31 pick, can we also consider that everything they've said at press conferences about like the future, the kind of the opposite has happened, right? Like, oh, we love DeAndre and he's fantastic. He's going to fit great in Vogel's system. Gone. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with Vogel and what happens with that pick, but maybe it's no, they're probably going to trade it. That's what
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice.
But also, I mean,
Shame
how
on
much
me
value
again.
is how much value is the 22nd pick in the draft going to have sitting by itself? Like, and we talked about the assets we have that you can theoretically attach it to being
Kevin
kind
Durant.
of minimal as it is too. Do you need to attach it then if it's him?
Yes, why not?
I mean, maybe they just do. They're like, no, we didn't ask for it. Just fucking take it, okay? We don't want it.
Please, we don't like draft picks here in Phoenix.
Like,
All right,
don't
we're
give me
gonna
the pressure of making a pick that I'm not going to use anyway.
We're gonna do some rapid fire stuff because I know that based on being on Jake's podcast yesterday, when you ask people to tell them where they can follow you, it takes 35 fucking minutes to do. You need to train people who are on your podcast. Like, hey, so tell me where they can follow you. You're like, all right, so the high pick and roll, the Spain pick and roll, I think the Sun should approach that. Love everyone else on the podcast with no disrespect, but that's just how that goes. So we're just going to bring this up, and I'm just going to start spinning the wheel. I'm going to say the question, and you guys can answer and talk amongst yourselves about it. Because some of these aren't the most serious questions. This one, I guess, can be. Who was the biggest disappointment of 2023-24?
Bradley
Whole
Beal.
team.
Bradley. Ooh, we going for Bradley Beal. Do tell.
That's rubbish.
Is it though? Okay, good.
He just
So rubbish.
He wasn't healthy. We got a shell of himself, and every time he showed flash, he just got injured again. And there was always something. It was always he was looking at his finger, looking at his wrist, or he was always doing something.
His nose.
Completely in his nose. It was completely in his head, and it just completely affected the entire team, body language, etc. From where we were supposed to be to what he was the biggest downgrade and disappointment for me for the amount of money we pay him as well.
Fantastic.
He was the only
Rubbish.
one that showed any positive body language in the back half of the year. And somebody who actually stood up in the last month and led the team, apart from that last playoffs. Obviously, his playoff series wasn't his best basketball, but in the last couple of weeks, his performance actually gave us hope that we might have been able to perform in the playoffs. So I just completely disagree that, yes, he had his injury concerns, but as he built into the season, I thought Bill was more than solid and was the only one who stood up and showed any leadership whatsoever in the back half of the season.
I'll agree with that totally.
Till last game.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Evan here. I think from not from the same reasons, but maybe kind of for the same reasons. At the end of the day, what I thought Beal would bring to the team, notwithstanding what production he did bring to the team, was still less. Hold on. I expected him to bring more to the team than he actually did, and that's not to say he wasn't productive. That's to say he was less productive than I thought he was going to be. And ultimately, we all knew at the beginning of this thing that we needed 80% of Washington Bradley Beal in order for this big three thing to succeed. And I don't necessarily think that we got that. That's not to say we can't get it, because
I'm gonna go with Eric Gordon, who was brought in, come off the bench.
That's the correct
and actually play a goddamn role. And the dude did not play defense and shot 40-foot 3-pointers 15 seconds into the shot clock. Get him off the team. Get him off the team now. Had a whinge during the year that he wasn't getting enough shots. Just see you later. He was absolute garbage this year.
He did play much better as a starter than a bench player. Maybe
he did early in the year.
Which was terrible because I bet on him as the sixth man of the year, and guess what? That didn't come close to it.
Oh yeah, by the way, every one of my bets that I put up for that little article on Brightside at the beginning of the year failed miserably.
I need you to do a backup. You should talk about that. Should totally be a piece. I did one last year because Dave did the same thing. Dave King had an article on all the things the Suns were going to do, and then I wrote an article at the end of the season just calling him out on all the shit he got wrong. He got so mad at me. R.I.P. Dave. So here's what I do want to say about Bradley Beal. Okay, DeAndre Ayton. My biggest problem with DeAndre Ayton was price for value paid. He was a max center who was not giving you max center production. Bradley Beal was the highest paid member of the Suns this season. He won't be moving forward, but $46.7 million he was paid this year. The Suns paid him $46.7 million for 18.2 points per game, for 53 games total played, for 5 assists a game, for 4.4 rebounds a game, for 2.5 turnovers a game. So,
but he had heart.
Yeah, but man, he really gave a shit. You know, like
he's come in. You look at what we gave up for him and our options moving forward. He came in. It's not like he came in as a number one option. He was always pegged as that third option. He had to work his way in. You can't blame the injuries on him. Well, you can. But if you look at it through a lens, which has him healthy for the full season, and you see his rapid progression when he got healthy in the latter part of the season. Now, if you take that injury part out of it, I think your view on Bradley Beal is completely flipped. 100%.
Yeah, but we're playing the what if game.
We are. But we're also holding him accountable for his $47 million contract. That he's a third fiddle. You know what I mean?
It's not. It was a bad move then. It was a bad move now because of the no trade clause in the contract. Had he not had a no trade, yeah, he is a no trade cunt. If they could trade him, it would be fine by me. I'd be like, hey, you know what? They took a shot at it, didn't work, but we're stuck with him above everybody else. So,
would you take that move back?
I would take that move back and do a different move. Because it was a good move because you got rid of CP3's contract and Landry Shamet. I thought that was the right move to get rid of those players. But what you got back in return was a duplicitous position because you got Devin Booker of the Eastern Conference here on a no trade clause contract. I never understood it. What a contract!
Yeah, they had to get the no trade clause waived as part of the trade.
Do I recall the timing right? If we would have waited a little bit, could we have possibly been the one to get Dame?
100%.
Yeah, we would have been in the mix. Yeah, I think Dame went the week after.
What are we doing? Who cares?
We are pulling up.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
the wheel world, and we're going to give it a spin. We have 3 questions left for all of you who are listening and trying to figure out how much longer this thing's going to go. This is a pretty easy one for everyone out there, but we got to know: Cheez-Its or Wheat Thins? Cheez-Its or Wheat Thins?
Neither of those things. Yeah, neither of those things exist in Australia.
I was going to say like roux turds or
orange biscuits.
I don't know. Yeah, biscuits. I don't know what you guys eat down there, nor do I care. Wheat Thins or Cheez-Its? If you are Cheez-Its, raise your hand.
Oh, Cheez-Its is.
I fucking knew it. I fucking
Wheat Thins
knew it would be. Yeah, for sure. Obviously.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not.
I knew it. I knew Jake.
My body's in its 30s.
So Jake,
I can consume Cheez-Its, Mister. I need Wheat Thins.
Jake was the only one to raise his hands for Cheez-Its.
Yeah,
what did worldwide?
Cheese, cream City, Milwaukee. That's probably where they're made.
Cheez-Its.
I feel like the only
anybody else remember that YouTube
actually
sketch? Cheez-Its.
I bet Worldwide's a Cheez-Its guy.
He's a Wheat Thins guy.
Oh, I didn't see him raise his hand. I'm sorry, my bad, dude.
Stop putting Cheez-Its all over our body, David Blaine.
You got
no one remembering.
And I feel bad now.
I keep referencing things we don't know.
He's rocking the '90s style Penny Hardaway jersey.
That is a nice '90s style Penny Hardaway jersey that he's wearing. That's number seventh jersey change? Or are we at 6?
I'm worried that Suns Worldwide actually has not had lunch for the last 8 years of his life at this point. If it's his lunch money going to these jerseys,
I know, right?
Boyd's like, I should have had far fewer kids. I could have had more jerseys.
Oh, I don't skip lunch. Come on now.
All right, here we go. So one of my favorite questions. It really tells you a lot about a person. How do you order a burger?
Who's answering?
All right,
this?
so we're gonna go around. Let's start with Justin. Justin, how do you order your burger?
I feel like I should go last on this because I agree with
Okay.
you that it tells a lot about people, and I want to
Okay.
judge people right now.
Gavin, how do you order a burger?
Well, see, we do it differently in Australia. So,
All
our
right, so tell us how
burgers
you do
would
it.
be-
Educate us.
Our burgers. Are you just talking about how you have it cooked, or what's on it?
No, both. Give me both.
Yeah, okay.
Fire away.
So we
How
don't.
you
We
answer-
don't really
How
get
you
to.
interpret the question also tells you a lot about people.
Exactly.
So we don't really get to order whether it's like how it's cooked. It's just cooked here. But
What?
we have. Yeah, no, it's just.
Wow, what a no
you don't
freedom
get
in
to choose
Australia.
medium
Point
rare,
out.
or your temperatures or whatever. It is just cooked all the way through.
Could I have
Um,
a cooked burger, please? Thank you.
How do you
Just
like?
cooked all the
How
way
do
through.
I like my
So
burger
it'd
cooked?
be almost well done mostly here. We'd have egg, bacon, onion, lettuce, tomato, cheese, and a bit of tomato sauce would be a standard burger
mean
in Australia.
ketchup?
I guess.
Oh, ketchup.
Yeah,
I
ketchup.
was thinking like
Tomato sauce.
I should have
What
gone
about
first. I take it
ketchup?
back. My
Yeah.
bad, dude.
Boyd.
Sorry.
So I assume you go, can I have my booger? My booger?
This
Can
guy.
I have my burger cooked, please?
We can't
How do
ask
you
for
order-
medium rare over here.
Really? Is it against health code?
No,
You
Wow.
guys are such a
really?
big beef country too. You guys
Yes,
have beef
beef.
everywhere.
Yeah, you just fucking get what you get, and you don't get upset, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we basically I generally just ask for the works burger, and they generally chuck
Okay.
everything on it. Then I tell them what I don't want specifically. And if I find any
Pineapple.
of that shit on it,
No
fucking
pineapple.
I'm going back in there. But no, it's just bacon, beef, egg, lettuce, tomato, and cheese.
A couple
And
of egg guys.
Egg.
and then basically I like the spiciness. I like the hottest sauce they got generally. So yeah, that's how I go every time.
Huh. Interesting. Hot sauce on an egg on a burger. Worldwide, how do you order a burger?
Well, I just went to Burger King today, so this is perfect.
Nice.
Do we all mess with Burger King?
Not really.
Yeah, it's called
Burger
Hungry Jack's
King?
over here.
I like
Nobody
Carl's
else.
Jr.
I haven't been to Burger King. God
Carl's
knows
Jr.
how
is
long.
good.
I love
But-
Carl's Jr. The one by my house burnt down.
This,
Sad.
I feel like this question really went sideways. Like none of these answers are anything I would have ever
I know,
expected anybody to
Justin.
say.
You and I will answer it the way that I assume it should
Right.
be
Yeah,
answered.
that's why I said I should have gone first. My
But
bad.
worldwide, how do you order a burger?
Well, usually I'm not a veggies guy, so I go no lettuce, tomato, or onion.
Okay, everything
That's
else
how
is
I
cool
usually
though.
get it. Yeah, like the standard burger.
So you just have a cheeseburger.
Well, that's how it was first made, though, right? Like it was just a patty. You had mustard,
Cheeseburger.
ketchup, and then you had your 2 pickles. Like
Apparently,
I
it was
keep it-
tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce over here.
tomato,
We don't
tomato,
do ketchup.
whatever you want to call it.
All right, Jake,
Yeah.
how do they do it in Iowa?
Ooh. Well, we've got.
I mean, how do you do it in Iowa?
Right. Well, when I'm not trying to go hard with some dude, with for Cream City jersey.
Wait, who's from Iowa?
Jake.
I'm
Jake's
from
from
Iowa.
Iowa.
The best
Wait, you
thing
guys
to
are
do-
both in Iowa?
Yeah.
Wait, we have two
Oh,
people
Al
from
McCoy
Iowa on
territory,
the same
baby.
podcast. Jesus Christ.
All
Hold
right,
on,
My,
you-
my go-to. My
Hold on,
go-to
real quick.
right
Hold
now.
real quick, Jake.
Yeah, hold on.
You and
Hold on.
Worldwide need to have a moment right here. Talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
Iowa to each other. Where you
You don't-
from and all that stuff.
Jake doesn't even care.
Sioux City.
See what I mean?
Shut the fuck up. No, you're not.
Yeah,
Oh my
dude. I grew up across the street from you, creep. You don't even remember. that.
Are you actually from Sioux City?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm in Lamar's. What the fuck?
Oh, ice cream capital of the world.
I work in Sioux City. That's fucking crazy.
You work in Sioux City? I thought you were in Phoenix.
No, I work for the Explorers.
No
Oh,
kidding.
are you
Okay,
guys-
well, I'm currently in Des Moines. But yeah, like
Are
all
you
my
guys
family's
going to
still in
avoid
Sioux
each
City.
other now, or what's the deal here? What
No,
are you
like
doing
he's
now?
in a smaller
catch up?
town about
What?
15 minutes north of my hometown, but he works for
that's
the
a big
local
drive.
baseball team in my hometown.
How about Jake started a podcast? He had to go to find people in like France and shit. He had to do like literally up the
Dude,
street. from him.
14 minutes up the road. They
Bro.
could. You guys could have been podcasting this whole time.
I
know?
smell a watch party
But yeah,
because they've been
I
so
would-
successful this
No,
year.
no watch parties.
no more. No.
There's
Never
Arizona,
done
and then who would have guessed Iowa's the next biggest Phoenix Suns state?
That's
Uh,
nuts, bro. I thought it was just me here.
No, so did Jake. Jake thought he was alone for all
That's
these
why I
years.
went international to find other people.
He's actually said on multiple of these podcasts There's no other Suns fans here in Iowa.
Yeah,
No,
he's
pretty
literally
multiple
he
times.
has Australian garbage men stay up till 2 a.m. to record podcasts with him, where he could do it on a normal time with you. I just think
Well, that's okay. I got a Filipino guy now, not Justin, a
Synergy.
different one, but that works at midnight for me too.
Yeah, but I mean, and also has no internet.
Just going over to borrow a jersey.
I got
So how do you order a burger, Jake?
Well, okay.
I know I did this is gonna be the longest question of the night.
As Sons Worldwide knows, my family owns a butcher shop in Sioux City, so I'm a meat guy. I know all about the beef. But
no idea.
Yeah, Bronco Steak Company, baby. But so I go a little bit different. I go with a bacon peanut butter burger with maple syrup on the side.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Dunk it in there. Oh, I'm telling you guys, it is a killer. It's like crack. It really is.
So
And temperature. I don't order it cooked. I get it medium. I want it just a little bit of risk.
How do you know it's like crack?
Oh, because
He's had crack.
yeah.
Explain crack to me.
He likes,
That's certainly
he likes
what it
Giannis.
implies.
I'm from
He
Iowa.
likes Giannis. He is like. There's been 4 opportunities for you to boot him from this podcast, and you let somebody come on and talk about peanut butter and maple syrup burgers.
To be fair, I've
Yeah,
actually
peanut
had
butter
I was
as well.
defending
peanut
you with
butter
the
and jelly
eggs on your burger.
before, and it's good.
All right, Evan, how do you order a burger up there in Utah,
Utah.
home of the Utah Coyotes?
Oh, Jesus H.
See, you love the Coyotes so much they came to you.
Yeah, that's
You can
that's
have
what it
'em.
was. That's what it was. Lord. Okay. Bacon cheeseburger, lettuce, tomato, onion, ketchup, and honey mustard on a toasted bun, of course.
Okay, nice. Justin?
Solid.
Medium rare. That's how I.
Yeah,
have
see,
it.
I'm medium. And that's it. Medium, no mayo. Mayonnaise is the devil. I will say the reason you order it medium, I love a medium rare burger, but the reason I order it medium is if they fuck up and it comes out undercooked, it's medium rare, just the way I like it. And
See,
as somebody
that's
who's worked in the
interesting.
restaurant industry, I will never send a burger back.
Injury.
Because I do that because I assume they're gonna cook it more
Over.
than I would
Yeah.
like, so it's gonna be medium at worst.
Yeah.
At worst. Yeah.
What
And-
a horrible experience ordering a burger in America must be when you got to worry about cunts putting fucking peanut butter and maple syrup on it. You have to ask them not to put that shit on.
Dude,
Or they
No.
just-
I love hot sauce on my burger too. A little pepper jack cheese, a little spiciness. I'm with it. I'm just saying that. Try
It's
something new.
If someone
Try
did that
going
here,
down
you get
hard in the
kicked out
paint
of
with
the
a big
fucking
Giannis
restaurant.
guy.
All right, last question.
It's a chargeable offense.
Beal or Butler, or Beal for Butler. If that was possible, would you do it?
Of course you would.
Not
feel like
only
we
would
should
I
have ended
do
on
it,
the
I would
burger
send
question.
the first round picks to make it happen.
Back to
But we're
burgers.
talking about another. We're talking about
I was
another
thinking
I'm
blanket
thinking
the whole
about
time.
grills now. Yeah, now I'm hungry.
Yeah, I just like one thing you got
Does
to
it-
understand is when it comes to Beal and Butler, is like when people complain about the temperature of their burger, it's
One's
one of the
medium,
most.
one's medium rare.
It's just the most. Again, I've worked in restaurants for 20 years, and I'm so glad that I don't anymore. It's the best part of my life is I don't work in restaurants anymore because you had to deal with people who be like, I want this to be exactly 142 degrees. Go fuck yourself, people. People are that like that's why when I hear in Australia, they're like, oh no, you just get it cooked. That sounds like glorious to me. How many times I've had to go and talk to a customer about the temperature of their burger because it wasn't exactly the way that they wanted it. You know, they're well, I want it medium rare. It's like you look at it after they've taken a bite and you're like, well, that's medium rare. They're like, no, this is bloody. It's like, yeah, it's gonna have some blood to it. Medium rare being that word. So
It's not blood anyway.
yeah, exactly. But you can't even get into that conversation with them, right? I'm like, I'm not even going down that. So, anyways, on that note,
Void is like, I wish I knew all this shit because I'd be like, you know what, you want your burger cooked a certain way, go to fucking Australia, see how they do it, see what you like then.
oh god, it would have been
Yeah.
very beneficial. I had a customer once who they said that about their, I think they got mac and cheese, and they're like, the mac and cheese came out too hot. I'm like, okay. Let it sit there and cool. Like,
blow on it.
Now it's
Yeah.
too cold.
give it time.
Take
You
it,
know,
put it in
like-
the fridge. That's what I do with
Anyway.
the kids' mac and cheese if it's too hot. Just put it in the freezer for.
I
30
could
seconds to
literally
cool down.
go on for days about horror stories working in the hospitality industry, but I won't. And I'm going to give everybody an opportunity now to let all of our listeners and watchers know where they can follow you if you want more keen and cunning content like you got here tonight on the Super Duper Make a Pod. So let's start with Justin. Justin, tell us where we can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter, X, whatever, at So Says Jay. My pod that we might put out an episode at some point someday at Fan the Flames NBA, and follow my boys at Dervish of World and Dan Duarte 1. Dan texted me back when I asked him what he was up to, and he's like, I'm driving home right now. I'm like, so you're not busy? And he said, our pod, then yes. So we'll have to do a pod. That's the only way he's going to go do a pod. So I'm going to have to do it.
Be nice to hear a Fan in the Flames podcast once again.
We'll
Gavin.
talk about that 2031 draft pick when it gets used.
There you go. Gavin, fire away.
At Aussie Suns Fans on Twitter, X, at Aussie Suns Fans on YouTube, where we will do shortly a breakdown of Suns Spain pick and rolls. And Voida. Check us out on either of those two. And this dickhead next to me will be hanging around there too.
Let's talk about that dickhead next to you, Boyd.
Yeah, look, I got tagged as being unprofessional, so I changed my handle down the bottom there to my Twitter handle. It's at Buds83. Aussie Suns Fans podcast. You can catch me fucking next to that guy next to me, and Nate at Nicky's Falcon.
You can catch me fucking the guy next to me. Is that what I heard?
Write it down.
Take it that way. Take it that way.
Get the book out.
Yeah,
Get the
at
book out.
Buds83. Yeah, come say hello.
All right. Hold on.
Go on. Go back to this. Let's talk more about that.
All right. Suns Worldwide. First and foremost, thank you for coming on the pod, man. It's been,
No
you know,
jersey now.
you hung out with us all through our fantasy basketball this year, and we all watched Justin only lose one game. But yeah, where
Who
can
did you get beat by?
you're like the most famous guy on Instagram, so tell us where everybody can follow you.
Not your time, Gavin.
And what's your favorite Blue Bunny ice cream?
I mean, I'm still stuck in the part that he's like 30 minutes away. And we didn't know that the whole time, but it's cool.
Maybe you should listen
on
to
his way
some of
over
these
now.
podcasts sometimes, young man.
Dude, you know how many? Okay, I'll get it in. I'll get it in.
I don't listen to any podcasts either. I don't blame you.
But I mean, Suns Worldwide, Instagram, Twitter. My OnlyFans is Hard in the Paint. So if you want to go see guys getting hard in the paint, it's my OnlyFans. So go check it out.
It must be an Iowa thing.
See why I was so
Make money
vigilant
somehow
about
out here.
that birthday thing, guys. See,
Heard. No liability forms here.
Yep, exactly.
Feel free to say whatever you want now. All right, Jake, where can we follow you besides you following Suns Worldwide now?
That's right.
Now,
Yeah.
officially.
Find me at Paul, and you can check out our Suns Planet podcast at Suns Planet Pod, and we usually record every Saturday morning, but we'll probably be taking a little bit of a break because we won't really have to talk about the draft or much else because the offseason started so early. But
Is it at 10
we had our great first season of the pod, which apparently is just
Destroyed the Suns.
still litigating. Yeah, destroyed the Suns. So I understand that was the blame. But take a look at the Megapod International version that we did yesterday if you're interested in some more trade rumors or debates that we were having on there, which Justin big timed us on. He wouldn't come on to the show for some reason.
I think that we all know why I wasn't there. I was
Too
not
much
invited.
clout. Too much clout.
Not invited. Not
Oh,
invited.
of course not. I've never too much clout for my friends. Suns Worldwide. Friends are the most important thing you can have. Remember that, young man.
Life lesson by Justin. All right, Evan, tell them where they can follow you.
At Coach Evan B and He's on Fire podcast at He's on Fire Pod, which is making its return. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Looking forward to it. Love watching you guys.
Yes, sir.
And I'm John Voida. You can follow me at Darth Voida on Twitter, and you can read my writing, brightsideofthesun.com, Suns Jam Session Podcast at Suns Jam, and make sure you follow Matthew Lissy, who couldn't make it tonight because he had a migraine, and that sucks because it would have been great to have 8 people on here because it would have filled up the screen ever so nicely, but that's unfortunate. But again, I want to thank everybody for joining the Super Duper Make a Bod to end out this season. We have a long summer ahead of us, and then before you know it, it's going to be fucking October, and the season's going to be starting, and it will be my birthday and Justin's half birthday. He will be 42 and a half in October, so write that down. Short intro or long outro? Short outro or long outro?
We like it
Sure.
around here.
We do like it long
Go
here.
hard in the paint.
Go home and love your family.
Call Suns Jam Session, post-game thrill. John and Matthew, podcast skill. Analyzing games with comedic flair. Since 2019, they've been right here. Suns Jam Session, post-game pod. Talking Suns ball with the Jamster squad. From the Valley of the Sun, spreading the word. Original podcast, haven't you heard? Subreddit stakeout behind enemy lines. Batman, Valley, Lissy, and Curry combined. Reporting live with jokes to the brain. Added flavor to the podcast game. Suns Jam Session, post-game pod. Talking Suns ball with the Jamster squad. From the Valley of the Sun, spreading the word. Original podcast, haven't you heard? Subreddit stakeout behind enemy lines. Batman, Valley, Lissy, and Kermit combined. Reporting live with jokes to the brain. Added flavor to the podcast game. Suns Jam Session, post-game pod. Talking Suns ball with the Jamster squad. From the Valley of the Sun, spreading the word. Original podcast, haven't you heard? Die-hard fans are just passing through. Suns Jam Session's got some for you. Lick the eyes to the feet, spit a bite with the Suns through the day and the night. After every game, don't miss the beat. Suns Jam Session is gonna bring the heat. John and Matt